So we're just going to go ahead and get started, and hopefully other people will join in. And if they don't, then I guess I get your full attention, or you get my full attention, or however that works. So first of all, thanks for joining me this evening. Hope everybody's doing well. My name is Chris Piercy, and I am in charge of Horner Express Backyard Expo, which is everything that's not a swimming pool. So these are things that are around the pool, like outdoor kitchens and patio shade structures and concrete and natural stone paver decks and pool tile and fire and water features and all the fun stuff. Rebar and pipe, I don't know so much about, but I do know a lot about the other things. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit tonight. So I'm assuming that you aren't seeing as many people knocking down your doors or ringing your phone as you did in 2021, 2022. At least if you are, you're certainly not the norm, because everyone seems to be not seeing the same amount of leads and traffic as they once did. So far in Q1 of this year, permits are down about 20%, and it's even worse in April and May. It's almost 30%. So, and everyone kind of expects there to be less new pools in the months to come. So what are you going to do to save your business? Well, I'm going to try to help you, and we're going to try to close every sale, and we're going to hopefully sell bigger projects. And how are we going to sell bigger projects? Well, we have to think of more things that we can sell them than just a swimming pool, or just do a remodel, or whatever. So we're going to talk about outdoor kitchens as an added feature, talk about patio shade structures, and artificial turf and other cool decking products. So the whole goal of this particular event or evening is to get rid of your head trash, to think beyond your current mindset. A lot of times we get kind of stuck in a rut because we do the same thing every day and we don't expand beyond our immediate horizons. So hopefully we can help you see the light and see this. There's other things that you can talk about and other things you can sell, and help you make more profit on every job. So outdoor kitchens are one thing that we're going to talk about. And outdoor kitchens are super, super popular right now. As a matter of fact, there was about 2 billion searches in Google, something related to outdoor kitchens last year. 7 million views on TikTok, something about a outdoor kitchen in a video. 500,000 hashtags on Instagram. So people are interested in the product, so that's a good thing. You're trying to sell something that people want. According to Forbes magazine, outdoor kitchens are seeing strong design trends in modern homes. Outdoor kitchens are topping American Institute of Architects' annual top project trend list. Boy, that's a lot to say. Anyway, the idea is that people actually want outdoor kitchens. Since COVID, many people are spending more time in and money on their homes. So an outdoor kitchen is a great addition to any outdoor space or home. I agree. So there's a couple different ways that you can go about making an outdoor kitchen, constructing an outdoor kitchen. This is what I call the major paint option. This is where we take concrete blocks and build them in place. This is certainly a built to last product, right? Because you're using patio or using concrete pavers and mortar. However, it's a pretty major construction process. There's definitely some special trades and permits are going to be needed. It can be a rather lengthy and messy project. The good news is, that there's a pretty low material cost because concrete blocks aren't very expensive, but there's a pretty high cost of time and labor involved. So we don't think this is the best option. This is kind of a crazy option, in my opinion. I call it the questionable option. This is where it's the framing is actually made out of pressure treated, or in this case, not even pressure treated, lumber. And that's going to be assembled on site by contractors. There's some special trades involved, obviously. It can be a rather lengthy process. But the big challenge is wood and Florida outside. not really great friends. We have bugs that like to eat wood. We're putting a grill that gets to 600 or 700 degrees in a wooden structure. Maybe not the best idea. They make some things called grill liners, which is a stainless steel tray that you basically can put underneath the grill to help prevent any situation with heat and wood. But still, we think there's a better way. This isn't quite yet the better way, but this is probably the most common way. I call this the unreliable option. And this is where we find a contractor and he goes to the local building supply store and buys metal studs, and he builds a frame on site, and he skins it with a cementitious board and finishes it on site. And this can actually turn out okay if the contractor is okay. But if the contractor is not okay and there's ever an issue, the consumer doesn't know who this guy was. If you sold them the outdoor kitchen, they know who they wrote a check to. So it can create some havoc. You're definitely going to have special trades, and you're going to have to pull a permit because this is built on site. We think it's better than wood. And as I said before, it is definitely the most common, but we think there's a better way, which is a factory built custom kitchen. So this is the reliable option. So factory built means that it's built at a factory. So there's quality control involved. There's a process involved. It's done the same way every time. It leaves the factory and it's designed to be plumb and level and fit. So this is a picture of the assembly line, some cabinets coming down. This is how it actually arrives to the job site. You can see that the cutouts for the appliances are already done, et cetera, et cetera. This particular one is one that is unfinished, meaning the client is going to add a stone veneer exterior and do a solid granite countertop. So this is what it turns into. So this is a cabinet that arrived very similar to that, but now we've just added our stone veneer and a solid piece of granite. They did a beautiful tile backsplash wall, put in the appliances, and get a beautiful outdoor kitchen. Here's another one that has an actual acrylic texture on the cabinetry, and they also did a solid granite slab. So these cabinets are manufactured by a company in Florida by the name of Captiva DKA. They've been making cabinets since the late 1980s, so a long, long time, and they're built really, really well. As a matter of fact, I have a little show and tell here. Let me see here if I can find myself. Hang on one second. Okay, so anyway, I have a little show and tell here. So this is how the cabinetry is made. This is the framing. It is 18 gauge galvanized steel stud construction. You open up the cabinet and you look inside and you see a nice floor panel, and it's fitted and painted with the antimicrobial, anti-corrosive material in there. So the whole thing is designed to look just like your kitchen cabinetry when you open it up. So when you open up your cabinet doors, you don't see the ground. So it has a very nice fit and finished interior. So you can actually use it for storage. It does have a lifetime structural warranty. So that's good. So I think I was talking about how cool the inside of the cabinet is. It's made to look good. It's made to last a really long time. This is what it actually, real life pictures of on the inside, so you can actually use it for storage. And this is the installation process. It's delivered by Horner Express. I'll play this video and we can kind of see what happens. All right, so how cool. You saw that the cabinet was delivered by Horner Express, and the basic installation is just bringing it from the delivery drop-off point to the backyard to its final resting point. The actual placement of the cabinetry took about 45 minutes. Then this particular client wanted to do a natural stone tile exterior finish on the cabinetry, which they did. And this particular one has a solid granite slab. So the actual installation of cabinet and appliances was about 45 minutes. Then it took a little bit longer than that, obviously, to do the finishing work. But pretty simple, easy process. And we actually have installation subcontractors that will do all that work for you. So it can come from the factory with a natural stone tile countertop on it, or we can send it with no countertop on it, and then they would have a solid granite countertop after the cabinet's already installed. It can come with a acrylic texture on the outside of it, like you see in these two examples, or we can send it with no texture on it because we're going to add stone veneer to it at the job site. And again, we have the installation contractors can do both of those work. So we have the cabinetry, and then we also have the appliances that go inside the cabinet. We prefer and promote Somerset brand, but we also have access to other manufacturers like Blaze and Fire Magic and a few others. If the consumer has some other brand in mind and we don't have access to that particular brand, then we can manufacture our cabinetry to fit whatever brand the homeowner might want to have. So what? Who cares? Why do we care about outdoor kitchens? Well, for any of you pool builders out there that might be listening, hopefully, got a question. When you sell an $80,000 pool package, how much money do you make? I ask this question and get lots of answers, depending on who the person is. But the general consensus is somewhere between 8 to 10% profit. So on an $80,000 pool, that's $8,000. But what if something went wrong? How much aggravation, coordination, and time did you spend to get your $8,000 worth of profit? How much money did you have to pay to your subcontractors and suppliers before the project was done? And how long did it take you to get that $8,000 worth of profit? Currently, it's probably 6 or more months, right? Well, what if you sold a $15,000 kitchen instead? Wonder what the profit looks like on that. Well, it's about a 33% profit margin on these kitchen packages if you sell them for the pricing that we suggest you do. And that would be almost $5,000 worth of profit. So you can sell $80,000 to get 8, or you can sell $15,000 to get 5. And if you sold an outdoor kitchen instead of a pool package, someone else can build it. Someone else can install it. It never leaks and doesn't turn green. It doesn't cave in. Rain doesn't delay it. Doesn't pop out of the ground. You can pay for it in 30 days if you have a terms account with Horner Express. You get your profit in a couple of weeks versus many, many months. And earlier I said that installation only takes a couple hours, which is true. However, it does take a little bit of time for the cabinetry to actually be manufactured. So that's why I say a couple weeks versus many months. So we think kitchens are a really good idea. Hope you do too. What if you, instead of selling an $80,000 pool, you sold them a $65,000 pool, if that's possible, but we added a $15,000 outdoor kitchen to that package. So we still get the same gross revenue of $80,000, right? How's the profit picture look? Well, it's a lot better. We're going to get 10% on our $65,000 pool. We're going to get about $5,000 on our outdoor kitchen. So that's a total profit of $11,400 versus the $80,000 pool, which is $8,000 profit. So that's additional $3,500 approximately on every project. So hopefully that's a eye-opening moment. That's a wow. I hope. So if you're not selling outdoor kitchens, you should be. Good big profit potential. And we made it easy, at least we think we made it pretty easy. We put together these basic packages to help get consumers in the ballpark of price range. And in some instances, this is exactly what they want. So for example, if we are looking at this Key West model over here, this is a 7-foot cabinet. It's going to come with the acrylic texture on it from the factory. It's going to come with a natural stone tile countertop on it from the factory. It's going to come with a 32-inch grill, Somerset grill, double doors underneath the grill, and a standard refrigerator. And we suggest you sell that to the consumer for $7,500. And if you did that at about a 33% profit margin, you make about $2,500. And really all you did was tell them they wanted to buy an outdoor kitchen. We've even taken a step further and we've shown some upgrade options that are available. So for example, if you wanted to, on the Key West model here, if you wanted to upgrade from the acrylic countertop, the acrylic cabinetry to a stone veneer cabinetry, you would add about $700 to the retail price. And that would be inclusive of the material and our subcontractors doing the installation of adding the stone to it. They wanted to upgrade from a natural stone tile countertop to a solid granite slab countertop. In this case, it's about $1,000 more. Wow, how easy is that? And if someone says, well, that's perfect, that's exactly what I want, then you should just say, great, what's the last name for the invoice? Let's do it. But that doesn't always happen. Sometimes people say, well, I want something that's going to fit in my space, not just a 7-footer. I want it to be 7 feet and 1/4 of an inch because I'm that particular. Well, we can do that. We can build a factory-built custom. Oh, yes, we can. Here's some examples. You see this particular one was fit between the posts over here. It's knocked out around this post, which is a real common occurrence in Florida. This particular wall here was a little bit narrower than we would have liked it. So we had to make this in a little bit narrower than we typically would. Here's a super common occurrence. This is a new home construction where the home builder wanted to charge the consumer, whatever, $50,000 or whatever the number was for an outdoor kitchen. And the consumer said, no, thank you. I think I'll wait. But they did spend $1,500 for, or whatever the number was, a few dollars to go ahead and do the plumbing package, kitchen stub out package, they'll usually call it. But look where they put the plumbing line, right in the way of the door. So if we put a 30-inch deep cabinet in front of this, there'd be a little bit of a challenge getting out of the door. So what did we do? We made a creative solution for this challenge, where we just kind of made a false wall, basically just to cover up the plumbing stub out. We elbowed immediately to the right to get it into the cabinetry to go on down to where the sink is located. So it turned out to make a really nice little storage shelf, but the real intent was to make it easier to get out of the sliding door. So this is a super customized build, as you can see, but it was all measured in the field, and then those measurements were relayed to the cabinet factory, and it was built and delivered, built and designed to fit around all these cool obstacles like that plumbing challenge. Also, this is a column. This is a retractable screen, so it had to be able to roll down behind the cabinetry as well. So if you can dream it, we can build it. If it's going to be a custom cabinet, we do have a pretty easy process. You provide us a sketch, and it can be a pool studio or pool draw sketch, or it can be a cocktail napkin sketch like example over here. We're going to do a 3D rendering and send it back to you for client approval. Once the client approves the drawing, it takes about 3 weeks for production and delivery. So pretty quick turnaround time. We also make it really easy to price out. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details on that tonight, but we do have a quoting tool on our website. And really all you do is you go to this this link and you enter in the amount of cabinets you're looking for, and that's by linear feet. Then you enter in the model of grill that you want, and it's all done by a drop-down menu. So you get to choose which one you want, kind of like a Chinese menu, and it calculates out the suggested sale price, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's one thing that you can sell, to think beyond the pool. And another thing that seems to be gaining a lot of popularity right now is patio shade structures. Some people call them pergolas. The technical name is patio shade structures. This is a product that we've been selling for about 2 years now, and it's manufactured by a company called Renaissance. And it's also really cool because you can sell it, we provide it, we deliver it, and we have some subcontractors ready to install it. They even have marketing templates already set up. So if you want to advertise this, all you would do is, drop your logo in here and your telephone number and give them some special offer and get some momentum going. So that's available. The Renaissance story is the company was founded by a gentleman in the home improvement industry in South Florida who was selling lots of patio shade applications. But he was kind of building them on site, and it was a little different every time. And he said, wow, wouldn't it be great if someone would be able to provide a more turnkey approach where these products are engineered and designed and they come with all the parts that you need to have a successful installation. So that's what he did. And I'm just going to walk you through the different models that they have so you kind of get the idea of the way the pricing works and the different styles that are available. So this first one here is called the Moderno, and it's the least expensive, one of the least expensive ones that they offer. It is still a solid insulated panel roof or an elite style roof. So it's 3 inches of foam insulation with a aluminum skin on both sides of it. You can see it's kind of plain Jane. I think it's a good terminology. It doesn't have any trusses that are going from the post here to the back. It's just a pretty basic structure. You can get this as an attached structure, which means one side is attached to the house while the other side is held up with posts, or as a freestanding unit. These are available in white or bronze. They of course come with gutter systems and downspouts, but that's the Moderno. This is the next step up. It's called a Contempo, and it's going to cost a little bit more than the Moderno because it's got these little truss ends at the end of it. So a little bit more decorative features to it. Again, you can get it as an attached system, which is attached to the house, or as a freestanding unit. You can also choose to get it with these curved truss ends or just a straight truss end. These are a little bit less expensive than the curves because there's a little bit less work involved. This would be the next step up, which is the most expensive unit they offer. It's called the Classico, and it's designed to look more like a wooden structure with the trusses that run all the way back to the house. These are not really structural because you don't need them to be structural, but it just is a look. It's a little fancier unit, as I said. Point out something else to you. These are designed with what they call a fan beam, which isn't really a beam, but it's a channel that they put into the roof so that you can run your wiring through that channel and into the fan or a recessed light or anything like that. You could also actually install the fan mount the fan onto one of the beams because the beams are hollow as well. And then this next one I think is my favorite. It's called the Contempo. Sorry, it's called the Fresco. I think it's cool because it's unique. It has a clear polycarbonate roof panel. So it's designed to reduce the heat underneath it. It keeps out about 70% of the sun's rays. So it reduces the heat underneath by about 30%. And of course, it keeps the rain out. Again, it's available in a freestanding unit or an attached unit with the curved truss ends or straight truss ends. And then the last one is called the Aria, which is the more traditional pergola style. They call it a shade trellis. This one just has, you can see, louvered roof. They're not Howard louvers, so don't get excited about that yet. That's a product that they're in development on, but currently they don't have it. But these are just, there's about a 2-inch spacing between each one of these shade tubes. So it does provide some shade, but of course it doesn't do anything as far as keeping rain and such out. We have it here as a freestanding or as an attached unit. You can also add screen panels to any of the models, except for the Aria, which you could add a screen panel, but it really wouldn't do you a lot of good because you don't have any solid roof coverage. But that's an option that's available. And why Renaissance? Well, it's a real product. It was designed and engineered as a system versus just a bunch of componentry that's built and put together on site. And they're engineered and by location and National Weather Service data. So they take some historical data based on every zip code and every location, and they put that into a formula to calculate out the wind load and snow load. Obviously, we don't care so much about snow load in Florida, but if we lived in Colorado, we might. Anyway, each one of these is engineered to withstand the atmospheric conditions of that particular location. They also provide engineering plans, and you can have those stamped by your local engineer if the need arises. Why Renaissance? They were manufactured in Florida, Lansing Building Products. They're designed for Florida weather. Here's a good comparison of the material. It is a extruded aluminum panel that is 0.06 thick versus the more common rolled aluminum, which is 0.024 thick. So you can see there's a pretty substantial difference. The posts, depending on the application, are either 4x4 or 6x6. As you know, you need some extra strength, and they will upgrade the post to a 6-inch post. And again, that's based on the geographical location. Sometimes it's based on the style. Sometimes people want to upgrade and do a wider post. Here's a good cutaway of the Elite Style roof. It's a 3-inch dense foam panel that's skinned on each side with aluminum. You can see it has an integrated gutter system. Also, the downspouts are included. It is compliant with Miami-Dade requirements. It has a really nice nylon resin screw head that comes with, and this isn't actually just a cover. This is actually the head of the fastener. And yes, they do provide you a special socket wrench to do that installation. All these are engineered and designed, and they come as a kit. So the whole thing shipped on a pallet, shrink wrapped together. All the hardware, all the beams that are cut to the right size, et cetera, et cetera. And the nice thing is that we have a pretty easy pricing system. We have a cheat sheet, I call it, to get you in the ballpark. And then we have a specific quoting tool based, and it's designed based on your location. So let me just show you the easy version first. So for example, if we were going to price out a 10-foot by 10-foot Moderna structure that's attached to the house, the dealer price is about $2,300. If we were doing it as a freestanding unit, meaning it's got 4 or 6 or whatever many posts, it costs a little bit more. It costs more because it has more posts, and also the posts have to be a little bit stronger. Everything else has to be stronger because we're relying on the post for most of the support versus relying on the post structure for some of that support. So you can see there's a substantial price difference there based on, the application. But when it really comes down to bidding out the project, so this gets you in the ballpark over here. But when it really comes down to bidding out the project, we will require you to give us some basic information about the job site, like where it's located, what city, and a zip code, so we can actually, pull the data and do the right engineering based on that location for wind. And also we ask you, if you're right on open access to water, if you're in a neighborhood, it kind of changes things based on, how much wind there's going to be involved. So that's outdoor patio shade structures. And now we also want to just briefly touch on some cool new decking products. And this is a company that we partner with called Parquet Outdoor Surfaces. And they sell artificial turf, siding, and cool decking material. So artificial turf, I don't know about you, but in my own personal neighborhood, recently in the last couple of weeks, I've seen 3 or 4, I think 4 of my neighbors who put in artificial turf in their backyard. So it's becoming a real thing. And if you're not offering it, I bet your competition is. And if you're not offering it, you should. Obviously, there's a lot of advantages to artificial turf. Number one is you don't have to mow anymore. And if you're a guy who mows his own yard, like I do, I don't know why, but I still like to mow my yard. You would have to not do that anymore. Obviously, the grass is never going to die because it's not real. You don't get any brown or bare spots. The nice thing about this particular vendor is that there's very small minimum orders that you have to buy. A lot of times with artificial turf, you have to buy the whole roll of material. With this particular company, Parquet, it is in a 15-foot wide roll, but you only have to buy 10 feet of that if you wanted to. So that's 150 square feet. That's not very much to get you into the ballpark, so to speak. So there's a very small minimum to purchase. You don't have to buy the whole roll. They also have all the installation related products like the sand, the seaming tape, and all that kind of stuff that you need. A lot of times they will certainly train you how to do installations, but we also have a list of certified installers in the Florida area that can perform that service for you. So here's some examples of some of the turf. It's beautiful. Came a long way since it was introduced in the 70s or 80s or whenever it was. I mean, it doesn't look like that anymore, right? This is something I think is really cool. These are composite decking tiles. So the idea here is that, let me flip to one more picture. I think you'll get the idea even better. To take a not so beautiful patio, lanai, or pool deck and make it a little bit more beautiful. So these are kind of a real simple, no tools required for installing, no setting material. Maybe hard to see here, but each one on the edge here is kind of a male and female type of locking mechanism. The pieces just kind of snap together and the installation is done. Like I said, no mud, no setting, no special material. I mean, you still need to have a knife or not a knife, but a saw to cut them into whatever size you might need. But as far as the installation process goes, you pretty much just set it down and it does what it does. They have all the transition pieces available to make different angles, a ramp or an edge piece, and take that and make it look like that. I think that could be a real winner. Why wouldn't you want to do that? If you're building, maybe not so much in a new pool, maybe though, but certainly in a renovation application, seems like really good. You can also take that same composite material and do siding on a house, a vertical structure. Okay. I think something even cooler than that is this type of application. So how many lanais have you been on that are drywall with texture on it that doesn't look so great anymore? I mean, how great would this look? This is going to happen in my backyard pretty soon. You see these little clips. Let me show you this picture. So it includes these little clips, which are for the installation process. You install the clip first, and then the material snaps into the clip. So that gives it proper spacing, but also allows for some expansion and contraction. It is an application on an outdoor kitchen. Here's an application on a flooring. This is very similar to Trex decking material, but it's just their version of Trex. Another application down here of that same type of product. And then the hottest new trend in outdoor pavers is porcelain pavers. And these are man-made, so they are very consistent in color. So sometimes we have challenges with natural stone pavers because people don't understand that it's a natural product and there's no two that are exactly alike. So if you have that type of client and you are sensing that as a concern, this may be a better product for them. So porcelain pavers are quite large. They come in a 1 foot by 4 foot size. They come in a 2x2, and they even come in a 2x4. So they're very big pieces of porcelain. They are 2 cm thick, which is 3/4 of an inch. for us American people. So they're not quite as thick as a 3 centimeter natural stone paver. They're actually quite strong and quite heavy. They do recommend these be mud set versus sand set. And the cost of the material is only slightly more than travertine, but because of the perceived value and the newness, the trendiness of it, you can certainly charge a lot more for a porcelain paver than you can for a natural stone or obviously a concrete paver. So why not do that? Why not take advantage of the cool new trend in the marketplace? And then I think that kind of sums it up for me. All right, well, that's all for me then. Go have a beautiful afternoon / evening / good day tomorrow.
You as
Thanks for
well.
your time.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See ya.